How do you go from this to this in such a short time? Well, that's what you are about to find out. Most of us want to be stronger, but focusing on strength training, routines, and a nutritious diet takes time and dedication. But what is the most effective way to gain muscle? Is it feasible to build muscle mass quickly? In this video, we will show you how to rapidly and effectively build muscle to maximize your results and acquire the physique you have always wanted. Get a pen and paper, sit back, relax, and get ready to take notes. Let's go. The first way to speed up results is by increasing training frequency, intensity, and volume with each session. The number of days per week that you practice the same muscle groups is referred to as training frequency. As a result, if you only work each muscle once per week, your training frequency will be lower than if you work each muscle 3 times per week. When I talk about training volume, I'm referring to the total number of sets and repetitions you do for each muscle group, and the intensity is proportional to the amount of weight applied. Think of your total workload as frequency times sets, times repetitions, times weight load. According to research, if you want to gain muscle, you should focus on gradually increasing the overall amount of labor done as our bodies adapt. Furthermore, frequency must be balanced with volume and intensity, because working out at a high volume or intensity causes fatigue. The frequency must be adjusted to volume and intensity because when you exercise at a high volume or lift heavy weights, your muscles recover more slowly and require less frequent training. When everything else is equal, one study implies that a higher training frequency delivers faster outcomes. We can increase volume by increasing either the number of sets or the number of repetitions. Now you might be wondering, since intensity is so important, what's the best way to increase it? And that's actually my second tip, which is to use progressive overload. You would focus for a few weeks on one rep range, such as 5 to 8 reps, before moving on to another rep range, such as 3 to 4 reps. You can then move to a higher rep range, such as 12 to 15 repetitions. You don't have to just change your repetitions. You may also add periodization to your sets, as well as other factors such as training frequency. Periodized strength training regimens, on the other hand, provide greater strength gains than non-periodized programs, according to studies. A periodization model is the standard block, also called the linear periodization model by some, where you would repeat the same 5 to 8 repetition cycle for 3 to 4 weeks before starting a new cycle. If you don't know where to start, check out the first link in the description. Let's move on to the next thing you'll want to do, which is to cut back on cardio. Cardiovascular exercises such as jogging, cycling, rowing, swimming, elliptical machines, and stair climbing are beneficial to your overall health, but practicing too much cardio may inhibit muscle growth. Cardiovascular exercise burns a lot of calories and may cause you to get into a calorie deficit. This leads your body to go into catabolic mode, muscle breakdown, rather than anabolic mode, muscle gain. HIIT exercises are popular because of their efficiency and efficacy, as well as the dynamic aspect of having bursts of varied intensities, which may help the workout time fly by. Although aerobic activity is beneficial to your health, you should consider high-intensity interval training, HIIT, during your bulking period. HIIT exercises raise your heart rate higher than a conventional moderate-intensity steady-state workout, allowing you to go faster and work harder during your on moments than you would if there was no relative recovery or rest. HIIT training can help you grow stronger and fitter by increasing anabolic hormones that encourage muscular building. Our next tip would be to increase your calorie intake. The fitness and diet industry has a popular saying that abs are made in the kitchen. This refers to the fact that, while you may and should train your abs during your workouts, if you want to see actual muscular development, it all comes down to your diet. The same concept applies to rapidly bulking up. Although exercise is important and you must execute the optimal type of training with sufficient volume and intensity, your diet will also have a significant impact on your ability to grow muscle mass. Muscle protein synthesis, or the process of building muscle, needs an appropriate supply of calories, usually 10% more than what you spend in a day, as well as protein. If you want to grow muscle quickly, some health and fitness experts encourage a slightly greater caloric surplus, aiming to ingest 10 to 20% more calories per day than you burn. If you're not sure how many calories you should consume each day, Use an online BMR calculator and then enter your degree of physical activity or exercise, or use an online calculator that considers activity level. That being said, this brings us to our next tip, which is to eat a higher protein diet. Muscles consist mainly of protein. It goes without saying that eating extra protein can aid in muscle development. But how much protein is sufficient? McMaster University researchers advised consuming 0.6 to 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight spread out across 3 to 4 meals to boost protein synthesis. They also said that when calories are restricted, and for really thin individuals, extra protein may be required. This is congruent with the findings of another study conducted by Eric Helms, who recommends increasing protein consumption by 0.8 to 1.3 grams per pound of body weight as your calorie deficit grows and you get leaner. According to another study, 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight is a decent starting point, although athletes may benefit from eating even more protein. Many people believe that increasing their protein intake will simply result in them gaining more muscle, but this does not appear to be the case. One study compared a high-protein diet of around 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight to a low-protein intake of about 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. At the end of the 8-week experiment, the researchers discovered that there were no significant changes between the groups in body weight, fat mass, fat-free mass, or body fat. As a result, 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight spread out across 3 to 4 meals appears to be best for rapid muscle growth. If you're really thin or cutting calories to lose body fat, you can increase your protein intake slightly over that. The last thing I want to go over is supplementation. Only 2 supplements have been shown to consistently aid in muscle development. The first is creatine. Despite the fact that there are several studies that demonstrate creatine's benefits, I'd like to draw your attention to one meta-analysis that comprised more than 100 distinct studies. This extensive study of creatine and its effects indicated that creatine monohydrate has been the most thoroughly studied. This is the most effective dietary supplement available to athletes for increasing high-intensity exercise ability and lean body mass. To summarize, creatine is an effective supplement for increasing physical performance and attractiveness. It is also safe to consume for short and long periods of time. Nevertheless, one study found a link between long-term creatine usage and hair loss. However, the information on hair loss is unclear and needs further examination, but it is something to consider. Consume 3 to 5 grams of creatine every day to receive the benefits. Although it is not required, using creatine supplements for the first 3 days can considerably enhance stored creatine levels. To sustain increased creatine levels, consume approximately 0.14 grams of creatine per pound of body weight for 3 days, then lower to 3 to 5 grams per day. Additionally, studies show that mixing creatine with carbs and protein enhances creatine retention in the muscles. The second supplement that has been shown to be beneficial is protein powder. Using protein powder without exercising will not help you, according to one study that included over 32 trials, but taking it while exercising can help boost muscle growth and strength. Each smoothie contains between 20 and 40 grams of protein powder, which is plenty for building muscle. Whey protein is the most easily digestible and includes all of the essential amino acids. To order creatine, check out the link in the description to make your order. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Stay healthy always.